Hello, YouTube. It's been a while. I've been away, and I'm glad to be back on YouTube to make this sort of videos that are targeted towards helping a lot of young men. Most of you know me for my breakup and dating videos. What many of you do not know is that I'm actually now married. Okay, and this obviously is going to take a little bit of a turn for the kind of content that we're making here. If you're following along on this channel, I want to believe that you want to master women and also know how to progress your life and eventually get someone that's meant for you. Today I'll be sharing with you how I went from all that to being a husband to a very beautiful woman. And I want you to be able to use some of these strategies as well to eventually land you in a healthy, good relationship, something that a relationship that is committed, a relationship that you trust this woman and she trusts you. We are positioning our message to be more targeted towards you eventually finding a woman you want to get married to. Okay, my marriage is proof that my principles work, my brother. I'm just gonna dive right into what we'll be talking about today, and those are five things I had to fix before I could attract my wife. Most of the time, there are things you really have to change about yourself in order to attract the right person. Number one thing I had to change, I had to fix my emotional reactivity. I noticed that I'm the kind of person who, like, if something doesn't sit well with me, I have to, I have to say how I feel. I want resolutions right now before marriage. That didn't reward me in any single way. I was a bit more emotionally, I wouldn't say explosive, but I was expressive, you know and emotional reactivity like that doesn't really reward you. It doesn't bring any sort of stability in your with a woman. They are already the ones that are a bit more like that. So if you as a man have that, you need to fix that. If I attracted my wife, I had to be more calm. I had to be grounded. You know what I'm saying? She desired a man that was like that. And most women do. So if you've noticed that you react to every single disagreement, you argue at every single thing, you want to express yourself all the time, you may need to hold back on that a bit, my brother. You may need to know how to tame that and still be happy. Okay, I had to stop reacting to every disagreement. I had to learn to pause before I responded. I had to choose leadership over ego. My brother, I had to understand silence was strength, you know? So sometimes, you know, for a woman who is ready for marriage, she doesn't want a man who is always arguing, okay? And I'm gonna put this out there for you. You need to learn how to tame yourself a bit. I had to fix my direction. I had to prioritize vision over vibes. But I was the fun guy, I was the guy that, man, like I wanted to go out and just, enjoy myself. I wasn't clubbing or anything like that, but I was the kind of guy that if you're around, I'm always fun to be around. I'm not trying to stroke my own ego, but that's just the truth. Anywhere I am, I walk wherever I am, I'm always fun to be around. People know that. But I had to prioritize vision over, a vibe and all that. I have so many things in my mind that I want to achieve. And I want to achieve this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that. But no woman wants to feel like they come below many of those your vibes and those your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I'm very ambitious, but that can bring chaos if there's no clarity in it. So I had to narrow my vision. I had to know what my vision was about. What am I focused on? What is this? What is she coming into my life to assist me with? This was one thing I had to fix. To attract a wife, you need to fix this. You can attract a girlfriend, but to attract a woman, you need to define your mission. You need to know where you're going. You need to have a financial plan. You need to show consistency in your ways. The third thing I had to fix, though, I had to fix my relationship with sexual desires. I have my own strong sexual desires as a young man. But then, my being expressive and being masculine and all that, it can make you prioritize the wrong things. You begin to prioritize lust over discipline. You prioritize impulse over intentionality. You're prioritizing physical attraction over emotional and spiritual alignment. That is not the right approach if you want to attract a wife. Your wife, yes, has to be beautiful and attractive to you, just like mine is. But at the end of the day, you need to lay hold and siege over your sexual desires. You need to know how to contain that, because that is what will make you disregard red flags when you see them. You see a beautiful woman and she has so many red flags, but that becomes your focus because you just want someone that arouses you, someone that instigates you, and then you are sexually drawn to this person, and that becomes your focus. A wife is a covenant partner, not a sexual tool. You have to fix that in your mind and lay siege over your lust. For you to attract the right woman for you, hey, she may not be the most beautiful, she may not be the most radiant, but mine is. Brother, I had to fix my ego. I'm a confident person, but confidence without humility, it can repel some women. Confidence without humility is almost equaling to ego. There's a thin line between confidence and ego. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to apologize faster. I had to learn how to admit when I'm wrong. I had to learn how to stop the need to be right. The need to be right. My brother, I had a strong need to be right. I needed to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I offer advice and I often believe in what I'm saying. So I had the strong need to be right. You don't have to argue. You don't have to have a need to be right. You can just let it slide. You can, when I say let it slide, the things that, this doesn't matter, man. You let it slide. But do not ever let anything that sits deep within your heart and your soul slide. Say it respectfully, okay? And make sure the message has been received, and make sure you get confirmation from that person that they've received your message and that this is not going to continue happening. Okay? I had to choose unity over dominance. You know what I'm saying? Marriage exposed this of me. And I'm telling you, this is something I had to fix. You too can fix that. The last thing that I had to fix my standard for what I tolerate. Inconsistent energy, women who were attractive but not aligned, situationships, red flags that I thought I could manage. The moment I raised my standard, it shifted. If she's not wife material, I'm not investing. If she's not the person for me, I'm not there doing anything. You know what I'm saying? When I saw my wife, I knew she was the one. Your innate feeling and conviction is actually stronger than any woman trying to prove anything to you. When you see your wife, there's a huge likelihood you will know. There's a huge likelihood you would sense it. These are 5 things I had to fix before I met my wife. 5 things I had to fix before I got married. And guys, you're going to join me on this journey. I will teach you how to find the woman for you and live a happy married life, even in this day and time. Stay blessed.